Hey guys, what's going on? Coming at you with a Wednesday morning daily video. Before I get into this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment below. I would love to know if you guys are in this stock or not, Ehang. I made a couple videos about it, and it's a super interesting stock. It's just one I keep going, one day I want to get in it, some days I'm like, I don't want to get in it, so I'm just going back and forth right now. So some updated news that they just came out with recently. Obviously, Ehang, ticker is EH. It's a autonomous aerial AI, basically a vehicle that can travel, basically in the air. Like, it kind of reminds me a lot like the Jetsons, if you've ever seen that, cartoon back in the day. But it's really neat. It's actually in production. They do have a working, vehicle, I guess you can call it. So it has been used for not only people traveling, but it's used to put out fires in cities where it's really high up in buildings. It's been used for emergencies. It's been used to transport certain things already. Europe has a lot of backing in this company already. They've put billions and billions of dollars in this company. They recently, a couple of months ago, launched the EH216, which is their larger vehicle that flies in the air. There was some Wolfpack reports that came out, really destroyed this stock a couple months ago. It's basically at 52-week lows. So it is super, super, super interesting. It's just that, basically the market, like the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Dow are all at all-time highs. So I'm just super weary of getting into a SPAC stock right now. That's really my biggest gripe right now, because I feel like if the market really does correct again or something like that, the first thing that people are going to run out of are these SPAC stocks. So I just want to make sure I don't get burnt and I position myself in, because if I do, it's going to be a super long-term play, like a decade play. So the new news that they just came out with, it's an electrical passenger. It's a two-seater, and it's called the VT30, and it can go up to 100 minutes. So that's pretty far, for what they're doing with this model. It's an inner city transportation version of basically the EH216 is a little smaller. It's really designed for inner city. If this works and it goes into mass production and people start using this, I think it's literally perfect for the city. I think it would remove a lot of people from driving cars. It will free up some space. It will cause less traffic in cities. It's a brilliant idea. It's just such in the early stages right now, but I love the direction the company's going. So obviously it complements the EH216, which they announced a couple months ago. This is basically their long range version. I believe it fits 4 people instead of 2. So if they get both these things rolling in production in major cities in different countries, I mean, this stock's going to be literally ridiculous, especially if they're currently are the industry leader right now. So it's just a lot of, there's just so many tricky things with this stock. It just makes me go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I feel like I don't want to sit on it too long. I might, maybe, depending on what the market does, I might start a very small position, less than 1% of my portfolio, because I feel like, the market cap's at 1.2 billion. That is so small for where this company could be in the future. So even if you do just a couple shares or whatever 1% of your portfolio is, I kind of look at it like this, it's imagine buying Dogecoin a year ago, right? When it was way less than a penny. You're like, I'm just gonna put 1% of my worth in. And then, now it reached highs of 60, 70 cents, right? Dogecoin. So what if this is let's just say it's at less than a penny state in the next decade to where this company could be? What if this company turns into $100 billion market cap? Possible, right? Very possible. So if you just put in 1% of your portfolio and you just let it sit, well, then you would, 1,000x your, or is that 1,000? No, 100x your return, which is insane, that's amazing. So, if you look at it that way, it would just be, kind of good if you really believe in this model. I've done a lot of research on this company. It's just I read some reports that scare me and some reports okay, no, they're good. And then you have these big countries backing them, which makes me feel okay, well, if they're backing them, they can't be too scared to throw all this money at them, because they don't, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't trust the process, basically. So it closed yesterday at $22.83, and it had a 5.69% rally yesterday. So it's basically been a yearly lows, 52-week lows. I think it went down to like $18 or $17, and it rallied back recently this week. It's kind of, you could argue it's a great buy right now if you're doing a long-term play. It did hit over 100 a couple months ago, so if you look at it that way, you could potentially 4x your money if it gets back to 52-week highs in like the next year or 2 or 3, whatever happens. So it's just one of those plays where like I wouldn't put all my money in it, and I don't want to make this a massive position, but it is something that I'm super, super, super interested in getting into. And they just keep constantly, if they execute on these things, like I love what they're doing here. I love how they look. I love that they actually, I'm really speculative when companies say they're going to do things, but they don't have the physical objects made or at least tested. Like these, like the EH216 has, there's videos of it, there's pictures of it, there's, so that's good. Like, it's a thing. It's not just an idea. So, this is a stock that's definitely on my watch list. Let me know below, like, how big it is, if you guys, one, if you own it, and two, if it's, why you're bullish on this company. Like, am I missing something or what? I'd love to hear people's opinions. So that's all I got today. Till tomorrow, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. That's it. Peace.